We're going to talk about it all. Let's see if they do the face-offs. And this was an interesting press conference. We learned a lot. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap all of it up. We learned a lot. For example, the way Barry Hearn is talking is this fight looking like it is going to be on the zone. Tyson Fury could have fought Oscar Rivas instead of Tom Schwartz, but said he wanted to fight a tall fighter to get prepared for Joshua. What else did we learn? Eddie Hearn couldn't make it to this press conference because he's still in L.A. and Vegas finalizing what? Who's over there? Likely Andy Ruiz. What else did we learn? What else did we learn? And this is a good fight, competitive. So we got to go back and listen to Barry again, though, for those who wasn't here. And remember, Yvon Michel is he is Canadian boxing. He's the #1 promoter in Canadian boxing. That is Oscar Rivas' promoter. Oscar Rivas was very close to a deal with Top Rank, and then the Dillian White call came. That's why he's here. So he could still likely get that ESPN deal or ESPN deal, win or loss, because Top Rank wants to get heavyweights. And expect Dillian White to be making a lot of money, which is why this fight is pay-per-view over there, is because a lot of people were after him. Showtime, Al Heyman, ESPN. Dillian White secured the bag. We don't know how much he's getting, but rest assured he's getting a lot of money for this fight. And with Sky Sports needs him right now because Eddie Hearn's focus is in, USA. So expect that he's getting a lot of money to stay in the UK. Also, Barry Hearn seemingly took shots at the LDBC. Did he? He definitely was promoting the shit out the zone. So, yeah, we got to go back and watch it because you need to listen in. There was a lot of interesting shit that went down. A lot of interesting shit that he talked about. This fight right here I'm looking forward to. Both fighters know what they have to do. It's a lot of heart in this fight right here, meaning that they're both really honest boxers. And even though I don't really troll David Price. Now that I think about it, I don't ever troll him. I troll Amir Khan for his chin, but I never trolled David Price. I always respected his fights. But he better not gas out or he gonna get his ass knocked out biblical. And I think he gonna get knocked out. Yeah, I think he gonna get knocked out. So we need to rewind back, and we need to talk. Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it! He my man and everything. He cool. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. What are they doing? What are they doing? Hey, man, y'all need to get y'all shit together. It is fucking 7 o'clock in the morning and y'all talking about porn. That is not cool. Y'all don't see a problem with that? Yeah, he cool. I like Boxing Wave. I just don't like when people shit. They just autoplay people's shit. But yeah, we gotta go listen to Barry. Let's go back. He was in his bag. So I guess we might as well talk about the heavyweight division to start off. How long have we been live? We've been live for 1 hour, 6 minutes. The first 15 minutes, I started about music or so, and then we start the press conference. So yeah, we got about another hour to talk. Then I got to go run some errands. Remember, it's going to be a busy week. So for those who have been around and you know how I get down on the channel, probably this week I'm going to put out motherfucking like 60 videos. So what I'm doing today, as soon as this stream is over, I got to go to the market, got to go to the bank, got to go to the post office, grown man shit, come back, do some paperwork. I think we got another press conference or media call today. I'm thinking that the Heard J-Rock media call is later on. I'm not sure. But let's listen in. This is a good place to start, and we're going to dissect all of this. So this is the father of Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn. Imagine fast car Eddie Hearn, 30 years older, and with a like, what's better than a fast car though? Like, if anybody can sell you a dream, this guy. Now you need to go watch some old promotional content from when he used to promote guys like Chris Eubank Sr. Dude can fucking talk. So when I saw him sit down, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where's Frank Smith? Where's Eddie Hearn? So you gonna think that he drunk, but he not. Like, this is his shit. Them motherfuckers can jive the shit out you. They can talk. So you're in for a treat. But not only listen to what he's saying though. He's sending a lot of they're very educated. He's sending a lot of subliminals. I'm going to just let the shit play. Let me shut the fuck up. We'll be right back. So you're going to talk for about a good, what was it, like 10 minutes? Something like that. But it's flowing. It's not no boring shit. So first, he's going to explain to you where Eddie Hearn is. Eddie Hearn is still in the States. Finalizing some shit. Finalizing what?
Morning. Now,
Yeah, he was busting a lot of shots. Like, listen in.
Most of this, you may not get a press conference like this again for some time. I feel like Frank Sinatra making another comeback. Always nice to get a phone call from fast car Eddie Hearn to say, I'm in the shit. Can you take over? I was in Las Vegas at the time, same as he was in Los Angeles. So I don't know how I got this gig, but I'm honoured and delighted to be here with some great fighters and some reasonable people from the press. This is an interesting time for boxing. Before we talk about this event, this is a great time to be a fighter. For whatever reason, there comes time in life when all the stars align and people start to understand and respect the fighters that fight and the people that buy tickets to go and watch fights. Boxing is hot.
Closely.
I'm not sure why, but there comes a time when certain things just happen. There's nothing heavier, nothing better than the heavyweight division. What we're seeing now is this amazing mixture of television companies and people around the world that suddenly have been convinced that boxing is at the top and is sexy business once again. And what that's done is brought about lots of broadcasters from around the world with lots and lots of money. Not necessarily any idea of what they should be spending it on, but certainly what we've seen is the emergence in America of a three-way to the death fight out, a shootout amongst broadcasters to control and dominate professional boxing, in particular the heavyweight division. On the one side, obviously, BBC and Al Heyman. Next, the next gorilla in the room, if you like, is ESPN with their Disney money. And then DAZN. Obviously, the new streaming service is making waves around the world. In any business, you need supply and demand. We have the demand. The European market is still expressing itself in big terms, and it's led, of course, by our colleagues at Sky Sports who've been
that Disney money
leaders
must be
for
respected
years
and
years
will be
years
respected
in boxing. A few people come, a few people try. No one has the sustainability or the resource to outcompete with Sky Television, nor can they outcompete with Matchroom Sport. We're a different type of company. We're long-term players and we believe in the development of fighters. And that takes time. It's an interesting time with so many of the big name stars retiring. It's time to go for Tony Bellew, for James DeGale, for people like this. And they have to be replaced by superstars. And our job is to find them, and the fighter's job is to take that opportunity. We have a table full of people here that are in the process of taking that opportunity. And they're gambling on their own ability in the game's the toughest sport in the world. So what we see today are two great heavyweight fights. Yes, it's Sky Sports pay-per-view, as always, And if we didn't have pay-per-view, quite frankly, we wouldn't have boxing at the level in this country, because we wouldn't be able to compete with the financial terms that are available elsewhere. We are lucky people. The fighters have got to take their opportunity, but they've got to give the public what they want to see, which is competitive matches. They want to see excitement. The days of the casual fan have replaced the days of the traditional fan. If you look around the crowd, you see an entirely different demographic now. And that's because boxing's been elevated beyond just the small hall shows. So today, I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this conference, to welcome you here, to understand and view the complexities of the heavyweight division and the opportunities that are opening up, which are life-changing opportunities for fighters. The main event, of course, it's a classic. And the reason I say it's a classic, because I'm warming to Dillian White. I'm not sure I liked him so much when he first started. You know, a big, tough kid, South London,
Tell me that ain't Eddie Hearn right there talking in 30 years. Tell me that ain't Eddie Hearn in 30 years.
All the things that, you know, come natural to me. Because I'm warming to Dillian White. I'm not sure I liked him so much when he first started. You know, a big, tough kid, South London, street, all the things that, you know, come natural to me. What I like about him is his independence and the way he manages himself, the way he carries himself. Mickey Duff once said to me, in boxing, if you want loyalty, buy a dog. And that's generally true, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's a short-term career and you've got to maximise. And sometimes you've got to have a certain level of belief that takes you beyond normal humans, because you have to back yourself in this game. Dillian White has backed himself from day one of his professional career. He has believed in himself, and he wasn't a great fighter. He weren't a great fighter when he fought Anthony Joshua. He had a fantastic heart, great balls, good punch, but he was still way behind technically where he had to be. But
Great
he
balls.
took his opportunity because he backed himself, and he rocked AJ, as you know, in that fight, and gave him one of his toughest, if not his toughest, fight to date.
He's about to address likely where this fight is going to be. So basically, well, let's let him finish. Pause. Let's let him finish.
But then he's gone on from there, and he's gone on the principle of backing himself. So he's taken smaller money for the right fight. He wants to put himself in a position. He's gone 10 fights undefeated now since the AJ fight, and technically, with the camp he's got round him, he's looking better and better and better. So what does he do now? He's at this stage. I think he's been very badly treated by the WBC. I mean, Brazil should never have been the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. He's been smashed to bits in AJ whenever he wanted. And suddenly, Dillian White is overlooked by the WBC. And still, we're still campaigning with the WBC for his position to be clarified for where his career goes next. And bear this in mind, that Matchroom Sport have a fight-by-fight arrangement with Dillian White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss. The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dillian White. I have to be respectful. And it's really a nice position to be in, because we can be honest with each other.
You hear that crazy shit? Did y'all just hear that?
Dillian, you're not under a long-term contract, but we like you. And Dillian's had tremendous offers from around the world, but he's backed himself. He's going to be a major player in his mind.
Hold on, run it back for y'all. Just like 30 seconds so I can process that shit. Yo, this shit was crazy. And remember, note that this is how the press conference started. So he went on for about a good 20 minutes. Wait, let me see. Is this it?
For us, and we was the boss. The pendulum has swung. So what does he do now? He's at this stage. I think he's been very badly treated by the WBC. I mean, Brazil should never have been the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. He's been smashed to bits in AJ whenever he wanted. And suddenly, Dillian White is overlooked by the WBC. And still, we're still campaigning with the WBC for his position to be clarified for where his career goes next.
It is the truth.
Bear this in mind that Matchroom Sport have a fight-by-fight arrangement with Dillian White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss.
It's crazy.
The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dillian White. I have to be respectful. And it's really a nice position to be in because we can be honest with each other. Dillian, you're not under a long-term contract, but we like you. And Dillian's had tremendous offers from around the world, but he's backed himself. He's going to be a major player in his mind for some time to come. We will continue to represent and fight his case with the WBC because really, I don't think he's had a fair crack at the whip with those guys. And I've known the WBC for 40 years, and they are sometimes movable. So we're on the case and we're going to try and move him. So what does Dillian White do before he's waiting for his position to be clarified? Son of a bitch takes a tough fight. This doesn't happen in boxing, does it? All these people in boxing, they talk about tough.
Notice something right now. Notice this. This is on Sky Sports over in the UK on TV. On TV, ladies and gentlemen. So did you hear that huff and puff from Adam Smith right here, the head of Sky Sports Boxing? Because he can't, like, this is Barry. Can you imagine you turning on motherfucking CNN or ESPN or motherfucking Fox? I'm sorry, I'm going. He talk about cracking whips and shit. Now listen. Do y'all know how crazy this shit is? Are y'all processing this? It's early in the morning over here.
I don't think he's had a fair crack at the whip with those guys. And I've known the WBC for 40 years. And they are sometimes movable. So we're on the case and we're going to try and move him. So what does Dillian White do before he's waiting for his position to be clarified? Son of a bitch takes a tough fight. This doesn't happen in boxing, does it?
You see the side from Adam Smith?
All these people in boxing, they talk about tough fights, how they're not scared of anyone, they'll fight anyone.
It was on the Sky Sports boxing page.
The reality is money talks. So Tyson Fury is the best gypsy boxer in the world, isn't he? The king of the gypsies. He'll fight any man whatsoever. His next opponent's ranked number 93 with BoxRec. Congratulations. Make of it what you want. But let's have no bullshit, shall we? We're in the money business. And we're here to make a lot of money for the fighters because they're the ones that are entertaining us and putting it all on the line. And so, Dillian White's team choose Oscar Rivas.
I know
26-0, undefeated Colombian. The guy can punch. The guy hasn't been in yet with a top class heavyweight. But you know what? When you're undefeated, that don't matter because you don't know what he's capable of because we've never seen it. We're not fighting someone like we're not fighting someone like Brazil who has shown that he can get sparked. We can judge that. We cannot judge Oscar Rivas. Other than I will say, he looks $1 million. He's got to be able to fight looking like that. I thought this was a heavyweight Eubank. He's got the shoes, he's got the kettle, he's got the jacket.
This man is crazy.
This geezer's got to be able to fight. He's got a record of 26-0. Well, there's 26 people know he can fight, and we're going to find out on July the 20th whether Dillian White is the 27th. And that's what brings the crowd. That's what brings the pay-per-view numbers. And credit to the man on my right that says, I'm in a strong position. He'd be entitled to sit on his arse for 60 days and find out what he's doing without risking anything. What's he doing? He's training, he's boxing, he's improving. Respect. As I say, I'm warming to him. I think he's quite a nice lad underneath that.
Yeah, he was in Vegas
physical
for like a
exterior
snooker
of
tournament or
sheer
something.
power, venom, punching.
And Eddie's in L.A.
And if
likely
that's not
finalizing
enough,
Brazil fight. I mean,
and this is
Ruiz.
not my card because listen, talk to me about darts and snooker. I'll give you a proper. What do I know about boxing? I've only been in it for 40 years, and I've got a son who's 10 times better than me at doing this sort of thing. And I was so happy thinking I'm coming to a press conference to see you guys for one more charade, one more hooray. Frank Sinatra makes another comeback, and then Eddie throws the little Diamante tablet into my life and says, the Cylinder, there's another little fight you can talk about. The Cinderella Man, Dave Allen against everyone's favourite Scouser, Big David Price. And if this main event didn't whet your appetite, the Chiefs of Paul is a bloody perler. Who knows what's going to happen? If you
People, how long
want
you been talking?
50-50, I'll show you 50-50. You got a kid on the right that's only just finding out what boxing's about, but he's as brave as a lion because he's been in with Ortez, he's been in with Dillian White when he didn't really know how to do up his shoelaces. He didn't care because he just had this feeling he likes to fight. He likes other things as well. But most of those he's stopped now because he's training properly. I saw him on the other Saturday. He looked good. And where did that body shot come from that took out Lucas Brown? I mean, that was sweet. I could have thrown my dinner up if I'd have thought it'd been it like that.
Nah, we're just recapping.
And that's after getting picked off by 2 rounds with the other geezer thinking I've got an easy one. He didn't know what the White Rhino's all about.
Thank you, Captain
And as
Obvious.
for Pricey, complete contrast to Dave Allen because he's got amateur experience, he's got pedigree, he's got class, he's got quality, and the geezer can properly bang. But he's got that vulnerability because we don't know when he's going to run out of juice. We don't know I don't know
Keeping
what
it
David
real.
Price is going to come in the ring. If he comes in super confident, if he comes in realising that he's a level above Dave Allen technically, we could have a classic on our hands here. I don't care who wins that fight. The reason is because I like both of them. And whoever does win it deserves it. And look where they're going to put themselves in. What position are they going to? They're going to suddenly fast track themselves into the top 10 in all the governing bodies. They're going to try and jump on this gravy train.
Let's rank the
that
promoters.
People like Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, Tyson
After he finished
Fury,
talking.
they've created this amazing bubble of money. And you may never see this amount of money in the heavyweight division again. Because you've got 3 massive customers, plus you've got your Sky Sports and your other broadcasters around the world throwing millions of dollars into the hat. And the one thing I know about these 4 guys is they want the dollars. And they're going to put it on the line. And that can only be good news for us as fans of this great sport, the toughest sport in the world, the loneliest place in the world where there are no excuses. So, for me, I want to just say it's a pleasure to see you all here. I'm absolutely loving the fact that this is July the 20th live on Sky Sports and, of course, the Zone around the world. I think we're in for a treat. There's always going to be these little tiny people out there knocking boxers and boxing, whether it should it be legal? Is this a mismatch? Is this a pay-per-view show? Have I got to pay for it? Let me tell you the answer is you got to pay for it. You want to see quality and you want to see it on these shores, these kids have got to be paid. If you don't like it, do me one favour. Don't watch. There's no one coming round your house telling you you've got to spend $19.99. But those that know boxing and know boxers realise this is super value for money because it's a uniqueness in sport that just doesn't happen again. We've got to understand and we've got to appreciate and we've got to thank God that we're not the ones taking those little 5 steps journey into the 4-cornered ring. Because in all honesty, would you want to be in with any of this lot? Without a lump of wood? No. So, I'm going to hand you over to Frank. I'd love to hand you over to Frank, but he's not there. But I got the Smithy man. I got the top dog from Sky Sports. who knows far more than me about these fighters, and he's going to be doing the easy bit of asking the questions. Over to you, young man.
Can I just say, you enjoyed that, didn't you? You're back.
I was never away. I was just quietly sitting at home waiting for the phone call.
I wonder if Eddie's watching over in Las Vegas. Well done, Barry. That was fantastic and sets the scene beautifully for...
Yeah.